Now this is part 7 of the Earth 2 draft paper, Tokenomics. Part 1 covered the introduction and stats, Part 2 covered the Earth 2 player, Part 3 covered economics, Part 4 economic components, Part 5 the Ecosim, and Part 6 the player technology. I'll leave links to all of those in the description below, so feel free to go check them out if you want. Right, just in case you haven't watched any other parts, I'm going to add in the Earth 2 disclaimer before we move on to the content. The content provided in this draft summary and Earth 2 update is intended solely to provide a general background information about Earth 2's proposed objectives. It should not be interpreted as a white paper, disclosure statement, representation, or promise. The content should be considered as an indicative update but remains subject to change without notice. The information in this update was posted with reasonable care and attention. However, no representation or warranty or express or implied is made by Earth 2 as to the fairness, accuracy, completeness or correctness of this information, opinions and conclusions contained in this draft, summary and update. Earth 2 disclaims all liability for direct or indirect losses resulting from using, relying or acting upon information in the draft summary and update. And so do I for that matter. Tokenomics. We chose to go with a disinflationary model. There is a cap on the total supply of essence that can be generated. There will be a supply total of 5 billion essence as an ERC20 utility token on the Ethereum blockchain. The game introduces essence into circulation through land management income from the Ecosim and rewards. It then takes essence out of circulation by establishing it as a resource that needs to be spent to play the game, a utility. While rewards are fixed, essence gains slowly tied to a player's immediate actions and accomplishments. Land management income mechanics, like ether evaporation, are based on the amount of essence that is not yet in circulation. This means the more essence that is spent by players, the stronger the overall income mechanics will become. As essence is needed to play the game, this mechanic is intended to provide the necessary starting capital for every landowner to start playing and enough circulating essence to support other players and activities inside the Earth 2 ecosystem. By tying the strength of the income to the yet uncirculated amount, the system balances itself. If the amount of essence in circulation is too low, it will automatically increase. If it is too high and in danger of reaching the cap, it will automatically reduce itself. Together with the amount of essence needed to create a day's worth of resources being in relation to the average essence yield per tile on any given day, instead of it being a fixed cost, the game and the tokenized currency are shielded from each other. The game experience is not dictated by the inherent volatility of the currency, and the currency's value can freely develop without a fixed value being suggested by resource costs during gameplay. In the future, additional reward and income mechanics will be added to supplement the basic supply and add more options for players that might want to take different approaches towards obtaining essence. The tradable supply of essence in the market is equal to the circulating supply, and the current circulating supply of essence that will be unlocked by users at launch being a total of approximately 112 million at this point in time, the 22nd of the 2nd, 2022. To understand ways a player can earn essence, please read the description and details provided under essence in this document. Outside of play to earn, the only other way to acquire essence is on-chain, directly to a player's blockchain address. From there, it can be subsequently transferred for use in Earth 2 through the connection of a player's wallet to the Earth 2 platform. So basically, the more essence that's used in platform across all players, the more essence will be released by game mechanics. If the player spend or use decreases, so will the amount of essence that's released. This is done to ensure the demand never massively outweighs the supply. Now that's all good in theory, it does sound great for balancing, however this can only be done with a supply percent that is set aside for gameplay. There's still huge amounts of essence set aside for the team and promotions. I would be interested to know what safeguards, if any, they plan on putting into place to ensure you don't have individuals dumping and having big impacts on the circulating supply. I'm also super curious as to if any of these uses are actually burn mechanics, or if Essence is simply returned to the E2 wallet. As far as I'm aware, there hasn't actually been any mention of burn mechanics yet. Hopefully this will be addressed when the full white paper does drop. 7.1 Token allocation. When considering the token allocations, we wanted to ensure we assign a major percent of tokens to a pool that can be accessed and earned by players and the people who build Earth 2. Earth 2 is in the unique position to forego a public pre-sale of Essence token, as we are currently in a position to self-fund the Earth 2 project and can pass that benefit on our players. It should be noted that the initial circulation of Essence will be completely player-owner Essence currently earned by players inside of Earth 2. The total sits around 112 million today. Team allocation tokens will vest over an extended period of time and will be released in small increments, meaning the majority of external trade of Essence will be player-earned tokens from inside Earth 2. This decision was made to put players who remained dedicated and spent the time earning Essence in control of the initial circulating supply. Okay, so the team allocated tokens being released in small increments is certainly a good start at safeguarding the market from individuals flooding it. I'd be interested in reading more specifics on that, but it does sound like a good start. 51% play to earn for players' community rewards. These rewards will be achievable via play to earn rewards, in-game asset ownership management, trade, gameplay, and staking pool to secure the Earth 2 protocol. Inside this draft document, you will find numerous examples of game activity that will earn rewards for a player. This list will continue to evolve over time. Players will be rewarded with additional Essence tokens for staking their Essence. This helps secure the native Earth 2 token, providing it with price stability while rewarding the most loyal community members. So yeah, we've previously gone over some of these mechanics for earning Essence inside Earth 2. Be sure to go over the draft paper chapters if you've missed that. I'm certainly interested in staking too, although my plans for Shun City, I'm unsure of how much I'll have left to stake. I will certainly be using a lot of it to upgrade tier 2 land to tier 1, depending on the costs of course, and then we will have the Ecosim buildings to pay for too. 25% to the team, including but not limited to senior members, junior members, community managers, mods and so forth. These tokens will be vested with periodic releases over a 36-month period. Frequency and percentages to be unlocked will be released in the official white paper. Now, if I understand this correctly, that's 1.25 billion being released to the team over a 3-year period. That's just over 34 million tokens per month. Or, another way to look at it, is the total circulating supply that's been released to players to date will be released to the staff every 4 months. That sounds like a lot to be adding to the circulating supply, and it's probably the thing that worries me most about this draft paper to date. But without having the white paper or knowing the game mechanics, it's impossible to know what impact this could have. For those of you who know more about crypto, please let me know if I've misunderstood this section and I've got my stats wrong, because honestly I kind of hope that I have. 24% remaining. The allocation for the remaining 24% will be released with the official white paper closer to when the token goes live, and will be allocated to areas that will benefit Earth 2 expansion and its players, such as an ecosystem fund, community proposals, disbursements, developer-driven projects, advisory allocations, advisors, partners, strategic alignment, operational costs, ongoing operational costs for Earth 2 so it can run forever, esports sponsorship programs. Yeah, to me that makes sense. We're going to need to bring a lot of attention, influence and spotlight to Earth 2 when the time is right. Having a big stack of motivation will certainly help with that. I've got no objections to this at all. Now, on to section 8, DAO. I usually only do one section per video, but this and the next are all pretty small, so it made sense to lump them together. Anyway, section 8, DAO. After we have successfully launched the Earth 2 Essence token, we will focus on providing the process of minting tiles on Earth 2 in the NFTs. which in turn will serve as a decentralized autonomous organization, DAO, governed by the owners of the land inside Earth 2. Each Essence token will also provide a voting right inside of the DAO, but at a lower voting rate than Earth 2 land tiles. Land tiles will be claimable for ERC 721 tokens minted on EVM compatible network. This will allow users the opportunity to mint an immutable asset correlated to the tile. This will be the first step of fully integrating land tiles on chain. Holders of these NFTs will be able to participate in governance decisions brought up for voting inside the Earth 2 metaverse. Holders will be able to submit DAO proposals and will be able to vote on proposals as well. A higher level of detail will be released about the Earth 2 land DAO closer to the process going live, but some higher level details are offered below to give players an idea of what type of voting rights the land tiles will give them. 1. Every player inside Earth 2 will have the ability to vote, whether they own virtual land or not. However, owners of land will have much higher voting rights and voting power. T1 land will have more voting rights than T2 land. 2. Tile owners will have 5 different areas that can cast the votes. They will be able to vote themselves or assign the votes to another player. They will be able to vote once with their full voting power for every voting issue raised inside each voting area. Each tile owner will be able to vote on Earth 2 voting issues on a global scale. Voting issues located in the country the tile is owned for country level voting issues. Voting issues for the state or territory the tile is owned for, state/territory voting issues. Tile owners can assign voting powers to one megacity and vote on megacity voting issues. Tile owners can assign voting power to one guild and vote on guilds voting issues. So there we go, minting of the Earth 2 tiles. But again, as I've mentioned in the previous sections of the draft paper, it does appear minting is going to be an optional thing for players rather than something that's going to be automatically done for all tiles. I would also love to know more about what we'll actually be voting on. The 5 areas mentioned above give us a little insight, but I'm still curious as to what voting topics or points they'll be. Do you guys have any ideas? So section 9, the team. This section is actually empty other than the link to the teams page on the Earth 2 website, which I'll leave in the description below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have an amazing day.